What's the most creative way you've ever followed your parents' rules just to annoy them? My parents had this rule: absolutely no phones during family dinner. Dad would literally confiscate them and lock them in his desk drawer until bedtime. The punishment for sneaking peeks: no phone for an entire week. No exceptions, no appeals process, no mercy whatsoever. At 15, I was completely done with this authoritarian tyranny. If they wanted no phones, I'd give them no phones. But I never said anything about alternative communication devices or creative workarounds. It started with smoke signals. Literally, I brought matches to dinner and started lighting them, waving the smoke around while claiming I was sending urgent messages to my friend next door about our chemistry homework. The indigenous peoples survived without phones for centuries, I explained to my horrified mother while creating elaborate smoke patterns. I'm simply embracing traditional communication methods that predate modern technology by thousands of years. Mom just stared in complete disbelief. Dad shrugged and said at least I wasn't on my phone. Night 2 escalated beautifully. I brought a hand mirror to dinner and started flashing Morse code at the kitchen window with laser precision. When Dad demanded an explanation, I said, "Emergency communication protocol with the neighbors. Someone needs to coordinate tonight's Call of Duty session, and since phones are banned, I'd actually learned real Morse code online specifically for this operation." The flashing got so intense that the neighbor from across the street actually called asking if we were having a medical emergency. But my absolute masterpiece was the carrier pigeon system. I convinced my 10-year-old brother to run messages between floors of our house during dinner. For $2 per meal, he'd sprint upstairs to my room, grab pre-written urgent messages, and deliver them with completely unnecessary military precision and ceremony. "Message from headquarters," he'd announce, marching to the table in full costume and handing me a note that said mission status: "Your Tamagotchi is critically hungry and may not survive," written in crayon. I'd read it with grave seriousness, nod solemnly, and scribble a response like, "Tell command the situation is under control, but rations are running dangerously low." Dad's eyes started seriously twitching when I brought an actual walkie-talkie to the table. "Base camp to Eagle 1, I'd whispered dramatically while cutting my chicken. "The meatloaf situation requires immediate backup. Repeat, the green beans are also compromised. Over." Then I'd hold it to my ear, pause thoughtfully, and announce, "Roger that. Eagle 1 confirms all vegetables are hostile and potentially toxic." My parents thought it was just a rebellious teenage phase. It absolutely wasn't. I escalated to hiring the neighbor kid for 50 cents per meal to stand outside our dining room window with poster board signs, updating me on urgent developments in my digital world. He'd hold up professionally crafted signs like, "Your Minecraft crops are dying," or "Sarah posted on Instagram," or "Fortnite Battle Royale starting now." I even gave him a whistle for true emergencies. The breaking point came during Sunday dinner with my grandparents visiting from Florida. My neighbor appeared at the window wearing a homemade military helmet and camouflage face paint, holding a sign that read, "Code Red, your Clash of Clans base is under attack. Enemy forces approaching rapidly." I dramatically stood up, saluted the window with military precision, and declared, "Duty calls, family. The homeland needs me in this dark hour of conflict." My grandfather nearly choked on his roast beef laughing, but Dad had officially lost his mind completely. "That's it," he exploded, face turning purple. "New rule: no phones and absolutely no alternative communication methods of any kind whatsoever." I smiled innocently while dabbing my mouth with a napkin. "So we're embracing complete silence now? How very zen and mindful of you, Father." The phone rule mysteriously disappeared the following week. Sometimes you have to get extremely creative to prove your point effectively. My neighbor still asks if I need any emergency communication services whenever he sees me around the neighborhood.